Hey guys, Megadeth Jason here. Welcome to another edition of my Madden 2017 franchise. It is going to be week number 6. Let's go ahead and advance. We did beat the St. Louis Rams in week 5, 28-10. Scouted my college players. I've added a couple of left tackles, right guards, and left guards to my prospect board, just for some potential offensive line help and or depth for the offseason. We play the 1-4 Saints in a home game, so let's go ahead and get this game started, and I will talk to you all at the end of the game.
We be the dudes who just come over to water the lawn. We don't say hi, we just come over to walk your dog.
Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ridley and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today we'll see one of the more dangerous passing offenses. The Vikings are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Saints, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. With that, we'll send you up to Minneapolis with our broadcasters, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Twin Cities and the expansive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. He'll get the football here. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The headshots here are the offensive unit, and what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
2nd down following the run. Here's Prescott. And he's got it over the middle. Flainer. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Now Prescott. It's complete to Flainer. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Left side and caught by Flainer. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Linval Joseph is in a hurry to get his name mentioned as one of the top defensive tackles in the game. I think he's accomplishing his goal.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Offense.
So now 1st and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his pass, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's 3rd and 4.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drip back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Still 2nd down.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Here's Prescott. It's caught left side by Cooks. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And brought in here by Flainer. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kobe Flainer, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
To me, the best part of Teddy Bridgewater's game is his decision-making. Very smart, loves to watch the game, loves to analyze it, and he does it so well, he takes care of the football and keeps his team in good spots.
A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
He got 29 yards that time.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Minnesota first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And now back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Still second down.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on 1st down. Now they take a sack on 2nd down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator, because right now the defense has the advantage.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So off is Bridgewater, on the kicker Blair Walsh on 4th down. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a little fortunate there, because that one was definitely leaking right.
Without a doubt, maybe about the width of a football or so inside that right upright, but he got it to go.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that.
Right.
Totally missed it.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Letting one go deep for Roberts. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half of action. Now Prescott. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He'll look to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And his kick is right through. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bash.
Super toe.
Here's Bridgewater. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
And again, it's Bridgewater. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll make it second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Bridgewater again. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
On second down, Bridgewater again. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They come out here in the eye. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Muscles him off. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here's Prescott. Surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Vikings haven't been able to find...
Well, that came a little abruptly here. So working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. Peterson alone in the backfield. Throwing is Bridgewater. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Bridgewater on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Bridgewater now on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And Rudolph has it left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. 30 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Minnesota first down. And numbers to like, that's for sure here. Back-to-back good games. Maybe they found something last week that they can carry forward here, a little blueprint.
Yeah, we often talk about a defense seeing something that held a person down and implementing that themselves.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Their big tight end, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Now Prescott. It's caught left side by Cooks. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here we go!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Finding time. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
Holding offense.
Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 19 yards there on the pickup. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Let's go!
Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
Let's go! Brand 38!
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Bridgewater. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. They'll get 16 yards there, and it'll give the Vikings a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Let's go. Wide 80. Wide 80. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On second down, Bridgewater again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Bridgewater again. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a second and goal. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing is Bridgewater. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safe. There he goes left side. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Tie game, fourth quarter. You're already in the red zone, well in field goal range. You can't throw a pick there.
And you know I want to give all the credit to the defenders, right? I mean, they made a play on the ball. But bottom line, you set up the situation perfectly. You've already got the field goal in the bag. You've got to make sure you take care of the football in that situation.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. Here's Prescott. He finds Roberts complete. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree. One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
They come out here in the eye. Now Prescott. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to...
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And Carpenter knocks it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Saints defense, we watch them get set to go. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key, isn't it? Where is the line on aggressiveness to over-aggressiveness? And I think most coordinators are looking at it like run your regular defense, add some pressure packages, because really the 35-yard line is the one you really want to defend. At that point, you're thinking you're probably giving up 3. Anything outside of that, you feel like you've got a chance to hold them.
So they'll be in search of the proper amount. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Caught on the right side by Treadwell. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow. So how many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Extra point try now for Walsh. And that will make this a 4-point game. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. He's got time. Now a desperate. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Peterson alone in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that.
There you have, folks. Minnesota Vikings defeat the New Orleans Saints 24-20. What a close game. Dak Prescott comes into town. He helped us get to the playoffs and take us most of the way last year while Teddy Bridgewater was hurt, and we decided to trade Prescott in the offseason and went with Bridgewater. So this was a glimpse of what could have been really, I guess you could say, almost for both teams. Saints lost Drew Brees to Cleveland in free agency. For those of you guys who remember the offseason, I think Brees got a 1-year, $22 million deal. Regardless, we almost lost this one. I threw an interception late with Bridgewater, and the Saints turned that into some points. They turned it into a field goal. Thankfully, they didn't turn it into a touchdown. But we were able to drive down the field and get that pass to Laquan Treadwell. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats here real quick. Teddy Bridgewater had 137.4 QB rating. He was 21 of 28 for 373 yards with a 75% completion percentage, 3 TDs, and 1 interception. In the rushing department, Adrian Peterson had 7 carries for 32 yards and no touchdowns, 4.9 yard average. We were down most of the game when we were down 14-3. Really, I kind of abandoned the running game, so spreading the ball around quite well again. Rookie LeBradford Pinnock, 7 receptions for 96 yards. Kyle Rudolph, 7 for 136 and a touchdown. Laquan Treadwell, 3 for 90 and a touchdown, and that big touchdown at the end of the game. Rookie Nicholas Levy adds another touchdown, who is a great rookie tight end campaign. 2 receptions for 24 yards. 1 reception for 14 yards for Rhett Ellison, getting all 3 tight ends involved in this game, and 1 reception for 13 yards for Adrian Peterson. Let's go ahead, being we are partways through the season, let's take a look at some of the statistics overall for the team and where we're at with everything in the league so far up to this point. We'll take a look at who's been player of the week so far up to this point. Anthony Barr was defensive player of the week for us week 1. That's where we are up to this week. Take a look at the team stats here. We are offensively 27th in the NFL. It's been a tough year for us moving the ball so far. Defensively, we're number 1 with 1,271 yards given up. Points scored, we are 14th with 149. Points allowed, we're second in the NFL with 77. Let's take a look at the player stats. Bridgewater has 1,357 yards passing, 11 TDs, and unfortunately 8 interceptions. Rushing wise, Javarius Allen leads the team with 28 carries for 219 yards and a touchdown. Peterson has 39 for 161 and a touchdown. We do have to remember that Peterson was hurt the first couple of games of the third, fourth, and fifth game, I think, of the season. Receiving wise, Kyle Rudolph, 31 receptions, 483 yards and 3 TDs. The Bradford Pinnock, 15 for 217 and 3 TDs. Laquan Treadwell, 12 for 230 and 3 TDs. Nicholas Levy, 11 for 144 and 4 touchdowns. Let's take a look at the defensive stats so far. Our sack leaders are Eric Kendricks, D. Ford, Everson Griffin, Jaquez Smith, and Linval Joseph, each with 2 sacks. Interception-wise, Mackenzie Alexander leads the team with 2, and then we have multiple defensive players that have 1 interception. Let's take a look at some of the league leaders here really quick. Bortles leads the league in passing. Rushing, Christian McCaffrey from Stanford. Now Cleveland leads the league in rushing. Leonard Fournette is 3rd. Receiving, Terrence Williams leads the league in receptions. Receiving yards is led by Philip Dorsett. Touchdowns is led by John Brown. Defensively, we take a look at sacks. The current league leader is Donta Hightower with 7.5. Melvin Ingram is not far behind with 7 sacks. Interception-wise, it is Jalen Ramsey of the Jaguars with 4 interceptions that leads the league, followed by Derek Johnson with 3, and then multiple other players with 3 interceptions as well. And let's go ahead and let's take a look at the standings really quick as well. Going into this week, now remember, I haven't, the whole week hasn't been completed. AFC North has Pittsburgh on top at 4-1. The AFC South has the Colts on top at 4-1. The East, Bills are 4-0. And in the West, the Barons, formerly the San Diego Chargers, are 4-1. In the North, Green Bay is on top at 4-0. And followed by the Bears at 4-1. We are 5-1. Lions are 0-4, imagine that. Falcons 3-1 in the South. NFC East, Giants 4-1. And the Cardinals 3-2 in the West. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end this game here. Let's take a look real quick. Who do we play next week? We play Green Bay. So the division on the line. One of the early games. One of the key first half of the season matchups that could determine the division. I'll go ahead in there. See you guys at the end of the. See you guys at the next game. Sorry.
She never knows.